everybody, 6-Speed Dakota here, and today I'm going to show you how to paint your brake calipers to make them look cool. So, the only thing you're really going to need is a little bit of elbow grease, and of course a do-it-yourself kit. Now I got this one a little while ago from Duplicolor. It comes with pretty much everything you need, including the prep spray, down to the stir sticks. Now I've already used this kit on my Dakota, so get tons of paint left over. Masking tape, and of course a paintbrush. Try to make sure I clean this one out properly. It's good to have some paint thinner as well. So today we're going to be doing it on this 2003 Acura TL Type S. It's my brother's car. So let's get started, shall we? First step is to take the wheel off, which I've already done. Alright, so first step, I forgot to mention that the kit does come with sandpaper, but unfortunately I've used it on my Dakota, so we're going to use this red scuff pad that I have. First step is you got to get the caliper nice and clean. So I like my wire brush for this. This is basically to get all the big crud off of it before we clean it. Now I'm out of prep spray as well, but I have brake cleaner, which is perfect. It works just as well. Now you can take the caliper off, but since I'm kind of hard pressed for time here, because I have to pack tonight, I'm going away tomorrow on a summer vacation, and I got some other things to do, I'm going to leave the caliper on. Now remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you just want it to look good. So we'll mask the areas that need to be masked, and we'll paint the parts that need to be painted. And it should be good to go. So that's pretty good. I've knocked all the big bits off of it. So we're going to take our scuff pad. We're going to go over it quite a bit till we get this thing absolutely clean. Now remember, 95% of painting is the prep work. So don't forget to get down here in this little bar here for the caliper mounting bracket. These calipers are actually pretty clean. Now we're going to take our caliper cleaner, or brake cleaner in this case, is what I got. Give it a good spray. This stuff evaporates ridiculously quickly, so I guess I should turn that music off. There we go, she's nice and clean. I can't believe how surprised how clean these calipers actually are. Now we're going to mask using this little masking tape here. You know, I'm going to take my gloves off actually for this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and mask this little bit here. Most of it you can avoid just by being careful, but stuff that you're absolutely going to get dirty, you know, try to mask it off. Now some people may bark at me and say that that clip, you know, you should paint around it, but keep in mind that that thing moves. So the second I hit the brakes, that's going to get chipped off anyway. Now remember, you need about 24 hours to let this stuff sit and dry. So try to do it when you don't need the vehicle the next day, or let it sit overnight. In this case, he's in LA, so for a concert, so I told him I'd do it for his birthday. For fuck's sakes. This tape never likes to stick, so just gonna do as best we can. Whatever. Just basically gonna be careful around that area. You don't need to go all the way back. But I would like to mask these little tabs here because they're they would kind of look goofy if they were spotted with paint. And we'll just be careful around the brake pad area here. Alright, so now it's time for the paint. Now that I've prepped, and just in case you can't tell, I am not a professional painter. So I've already stirred the paint. So it's right here. This is a special kind of paint. Oh, by the way, make sure you paint in a well-ventilated area. This stuff stinks. Right, so just in case you can't tell, I'm not a professional painter whatsoever. So please bear with me. But this stuff really works. I've used it on my Dakota about 1.5 years ago, and it's still going. No signs of chipping or flaking. So this is a special kind of paint. It actually has ceramic in it, and ceramic is very heat resistant. So this stuff covers very well, actually. Make sure I put my paper towel underneath there. So basically you need one kind of coat to cover, and then maybe 1 or 2 subsequent coats after that. And this stuff dries fairly quickly, but it has to fully harden before you can use the vehicle. Because if you don't, the paint will flake off. That's why I left my truck overnight in the warm garage. Now this stuff's quite runny too, so don't just gob it on there. Now how far back you want to paint is at your own discretion. You're basically just trying to make it look good. You can see how well this stuff covers. And you can do this on your vehicle, or you can buy the spray can, and with the caliper off, you can paint it with it on your vehicle, or off your vehicle and whatnot, and rebuild the caliper after. But I don't really like doing that since that's labor intensive, and this is quick and easy. It's taken me probably 10 minutes to get this thing ready to go. Just we got to make sure that your caliper has no dirt on it or nothing like that. Make sure you smooth out the runs and that kind of thing. But this stuff's actually already starting to dry. But I mean, it's 35 Celsius out here today, so it's pretty stinking hot. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. My temperature Fahrenheit is not so good. Sorry for you US fans, but I'm going to try not to get it on the rubber too much. It's okay if you do a little bit, I guess. But basically just work your way back. Try not to get it on the rotor or anything like that. That might make a mess. So when you dip your brush, make sure you wipe the excess off in special sensitive areas such as around these clips, because this stuff will run very easily. It's very liquidy. It's not like house paint, which is very thick. But this stuff covers extremely well. So, you're probably getting bored of watching me paint, so with the magic of YouTube, we're going to fast forward. Okay, so by the magic of YouTube, I'm all finished my first coat. You see where this is real shiny up here, and this is starting to get kind of dull. When it starts to get kind of dull, you know that the paint's dried and it's time for a second coat. Alright, so now this is dry, and I'm halfway through putting a second coat on. Now your second coat you want to be a lot heavier, but you notice how it's starting to run there. So we're going to smooth out the run so it doesn't drip. but you kind of want it to look kind of like a liquid almost, to get that nice deep shine just like that. Then we're going to let it sit for a little while. Unfortunately, I got to put the wheels back on and let the vehicle sit on the ground, but that's not a big deal. Once the paint is tacky, it shouldn't be too hard to put back on its wheels again, because I only have 2 jack stands and I got 2 more calipers to paint. But the second coat is basically just to bring out the gloss. The first coat's just for coverage, the second coat's for looks. You can do a third if you really want, but once again, since I kind of don't have the time, and the results are great with the second coat. I've been running 2 coats on my Dakota for 1.5 years and it looks awesome still, and no hint of chipping, peeling, or anything like that because I prepped it properly. So any kind of runs in the paint. Now this paint actually lays out pretty nicely, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. In fact, this paint's already tacky right after I put it on. It's so hot out. There's actually sweat dripping down my face right now. But basically what we're doing is we're getting rid of the... There we go. That's it. That's all there really is to painting a caliper. A little bit of prep, 2 coats of paint, and it looks awesome. And I think we're pretty much done. So this coat, the second coat is a heavier coat, but not too heavy, because you don't want it to run. There we go. Look at that. That looks really, really good. I'm going to be happy with that. Ugh. Get the sweat off my face before I have to turn the camera in my direction. There we go. That's all there is to painting a caliper. So now you can do it and make your ride look cool. Alright, take it easy everybody.